Power is not given, it is taken. Not by force alone, but by calculation, by patience, by understanding the invisible architecture of human nature. Most men walk through life believing the world operates on fairness, on merit, on justice. They are children playing a game they do not understand. The world belongs to those who see it as it truly is. A chessboard where every move matters, where sentiment is suicide, and where the crown goes not to the kindest, but to the most strategic. You are here because you sense this truth. You have felt the sting of betrayal by those you trusted. You have watched mediocre men rise while the noble fall. You have learned, perhaps painfully, that good intentions pave no roads to power. The world does not reward your honesty. It rewards your effectiveness. If you want to ascend, if you want to command respect, if you want to become untouchable in a world designed to devour the weak, then you must think differently. You must become Machiavellian, not evil, not cruel for cruelty's sake, but strategically superior, tactically untouchable, emotionally sovereign. This is not about becoming a villain. This is about refusing to remain a victim. These 12 rules are not suggestions. They are survival tools for the modern world. A world of hidden agendas, social hierarchies, and power games played in boardrooms, relationships, and every interaction you will ever have. If you are ready to stop playing by the rules others wrote for you, if you are ready to become the architect of your own fate, then listen closely. Because by the end of this, you will never see the world the same way again. And if you truly understand what is being said here, comment below with this declaration. I see the game. I play to win. That is your entry into a different level of existence. One where you are no longer manipulated, but the one who maneuvers. Let us begin. Number 1. Never reveal your full hand. The first rule of power is silence about your true capabilities, your real intentions, your ultimate goals. Most men are desperate to be understood, to be seen, to be validated. They announce their plans to the world, broadcast their ambitions, and wonder why obstacles appear before they even begin. This is foolishness. When you reveal everything, you give your enemies a map. You show them where you are vulnerable, where you are headed, and exactly how to stop you. The wise man moves in shadows. He speaks less than he knows. He shows less than he possesses. He allows others to underestimate him, and in that underestimation, he finds his greatest advantage. Think of the predator in nature. It does not announce its presence. It observes, it waits, it strikes only when victory is assured. You must adopt this mentality. In conversations, reveal only what serves you. In negotiations, never show desperation. In conflict, never expose your full strategy. Let them think they know. You let them believe they have you figured out. Meanwhile, you are 10 steps ahead, holding cards they do not even know exist. This does not mean you become dishonest. It means you become selective. Truth is a weapon, and like all weapons, it must be used with precision. Not every question deserves a full answer. Not every person deserves access to your inner world. Guard your thoughts as you would guard treasure. Because in a world where information is power, the man who controls what others know about him controls how they respond to him. People cannot manipulate what they cannot see. They cannot sabotage what they do not understand. By keeping your intentions hidden, you protect yourself from envy, from interference, from those who would smile to your face while plotting your downfall. Silence is not weakness. It is strategy. Mystery is not insecurity. It is mastery. The less you reveal, the more powerful you become. Because power loves a vacuum, and the space you leave empty will be filled with respect, with curiosity, with fear. When you finally do act, when your plans come to fruition, the world will be stunned. They will ask, how did he do that? Where did he come from? And you will smile, knowing they never saw you coming. That is the essence of Rule 1. Operate in the dark. Strike in the light. Comment this below and make it your code. I reveal nothing. I control everything. Number 2. Master the art of strategic patience. The world worships speed, instant results, quick wins, immediate gratification, but the truly powerful understand that haste is the enemy of mastery. Patience is not passivity, it is calculated waiting. It is the discipline to let circumstances ripen, to allow your enemies to expose themselves, to watch the board before making your move. Machiavelli knew this. He understood that the prince who acts too quickly, who reacts emotionally, who cannot control his impulses, will be destroyed by those who can. Patience is the mark of a superior mind. It separates the tactician from the fool. When others are panicking, you are observing. When others are reacting, you are planning. When others exhaust themselves in meaningless battles, you are conserving your energy for the war that matters. Strategic patience means you do not chase. You position, you do not force. You allow, you do not rush into conflict. You wait until the conditions favor you so completely that victory is inevitable. This requires emotional control. It requires the ability to endure discomfort, to sit with uncertainty, to resist the urge to act simply because inaction feels unbearable. Weak men cannot do this. They need immediate validation, immediate results, immediate relief. But you are not weak. You understand that time is your ally. Every day you wait with purpose is a day your enemies grow careless. Every moment you hold back is a moment they reveal more of themselves. And when you finally move, you move with such precision that they have no defense. Think of the spider. It does not chase the fly. It builds the web, waits in stillness, and when the fly comes, it is already too late. You are the spider, your patience is the web. And those who underestimate your stillness will find themselves trapped before they realize the game has begun. This does not mean you do nothing. It means everything you do is deliberate. You prepare in silence. You study your environment. You gather intelligence. You build alliances quietly. You strengthen yourself while others waste their energy on noise. And when the moment comes, when the opportunity presents itself, you strike with such force and clarity that no one can stop you. Patience is power in its purest form. It is confidence that time works for you, not against you. It is the certainty that you do not need to prove yourself today because your victory is already written in the days to come. Adopt this rule and you will outlast everyone. You will outlive their schemes. You will watch them burn out while you remain, steady and unshaken, ready to claim what they could not hold. Comment these words below and let them anchor your strategy. Patience is my weapon. Time is my ally. Number 3. Appear weak when you are strong. This rule is counterintuitive, which is precisely why it works. The natural instinct is to display strength, to show dominance, to make others fear you. But Machiavelli understood something deeper. The moment you appear too strong, you become a target. Envy rises. Alliances form against you. People begin to plot your downfall simply because your power threatens their ego. But the man who appears weak, who seems harmless, who is underestimated, moves through the world undetected. He builds his empire while others dismiss him. He consolidates power while others laugh at him. And by the time they realize their mistake, it is far too late. To appear weak is not to be weak. It is to disguise your strength so that your enemies lower their guard. It is to let them believe they are superior, smarter, more capable. Meanwhile, you are observing, learning, positioning. You are the wolf in sheep's clothing, and they are too arrogant to notice. This tactic is especially powerful in hierarchies. If you are climbing, do not announce your ambition. Do not threaten those above you. Instead, appear loyal, humble, non-threatening. Let them believe you are no competition. And while they relax, while they stop watching you, you are gaining skills, building relationships, acquiring leverage. When the moment is right, when they are vulnerable, you make your move, and they never see it coming. This also applies to conflict. When someone challenges you, do not always meet force with force. Sometimes the strongest response is to appear unbothered, to seem as though their attack did not land. This confuses them. It makes them overextend. It makes them reveal more of their strategy while you reveal nothing. Then when they are exposed, when they have exhausted themselves, you respond with calculated precision. The appearance of weakness is a mask. Behind it, you are gathering strength, intelligence, opportunity. You are like water, soft and yielding on the surface, yet capable of eroding stone over time. This rule requires humility, but not the humility of defeat, the humility of strategy. You are secure enough in your power that you do not need to broadcast it. You know what you are capable of, and that is enough. Let others underestimate you. Let them think you are harmless. Because the greatest victories are won before the battle even begins, by those who were never seen as a threat. Comment this below and make it your tactical advantage. I hide my strength. I reveal my power only when it is too late for them. Number 4. Control the narrative. He who controls the story controls reality. This is one of the most potent truths in the game of power. Facts matter less than perception. Truth matters less than belief. If you can shape how others perceive a situation, you can shape the outcome itself. Most people do not think for themselves. They adopt the narratives given to them. They believe what they are told, especially if it is repeated often and delivered with confidence. This is your opportunity. In any situation, there are multiple ways to interpret what happened. The person who speaks first, who frames the story, who controls the language, wins. If you are accused, do not defend, reframe. If you are attacked, do not retreat, redirect. If you are misunderstood, do not explain endlessly. Rewrite the narrative so that you are no longer the villain or the victim, but the strategist who was in control all along. This applies to your reputation. People will talk about you. They will create stories. If you are passive, if you let others define you, you lose. But if you carefully craft how you are seen, if you manage your image with the precision of a brand, you become untouchable. You decide what people believe about you. Controlling the narrative also means controlling information flow. In any group, the person who has the most information and decides what to share and when holds the power. Be the one people come to for clarity. Be the one who interprets events. Be the one who connects the dots for others. When you do this, you are not just participating in the game. You are writing the rules, but be subtle. If people realize you are manipulating perception, they will resist. The best narrative control is invisible. It feels natural. It feels like the truth. This is why storytelling is so powerful. Facts tell, but stories sell. If you can wrap your agenda in a compelling story, people will adopt it as their own. They will defend it. They will spread it. And you will have moved them exactly where you wanted without them ever realizing they were moved. Master this and you master influence itself, because influence is not about force. It is about shaping belief, and belief drives behavior. Comment this and claim your power over perception. I control the story. I shape the reality. Number 5, build alliances but trust no one completely. Power is not a solo game. No man, no matter how brilliant, can rise alone. You need alliances. You need people who support your rise, who provide resources, information, access. But here is the cold truth. People are driven by self-interest. Today's ally can become tomorrow's enemy the moment their interests shift. This is not cynicism. This is realism. Machiavelli taught that the wise prince builds alliances based on mutual benefit, not affection. Friendship is beautiful, but in the realm of power, it is fragile. What holds people together is not love, it is utility. As long as you are useful, you are valued. The moment you are not, you are discarded. Therefore, build your alliances strategically. Identify who has what you need. Offer value in return. Create relationships where both parties benefit. But never, ever give anyone complete access to your vulnerabilities. Never tell one person everything. Compartmentalize. Let each ally know only what they need to know. This protects you. If one betrays you, they cannot destroy you because they only hold a piece, not the whole. Trust is a luxury you cannot afford in the game of power. Respect, yes. Cooperation, yes, but blind trust. That is how empires fall. Keep your eyes open. Watch for shifts in loyalty. Notice when someone's behavior changes. Pay attention to who benefits from your downfall. And always, always have a contingency plan. This does not mean you live in paranoia. It means you live in awareness. You appreciate your allies. You treat them well. You honor agreements. But you never forget that circumstances change, and when they do, people change with them. The strongest position is to be needed by many but dependent on none. Diversify your alliances. Never let one person hold too much power over your success, because the moment you become dependent, you become controllable. And the moment you become controllable, you lose. Build your network like a web. Strong, interconnected, but with you at the center. Let others rely on you more than you rely on them. This is how you maintain leverage. This is how you ensure that even if one thread breaks, the structure holds. Power is a network game. Play it wisely, comment this and commit to strategic relationships. I build alliances. I trust only strategy. Number 6, use silence as a weapon. Most people fear silence. They fill it with words, with explanations, with nervous chatter. This is weakness. Silence is one of the most powerful tools you will ever wield. It creates discomfort, and in that discomfort, people reveal themselves. When you remain silent, others feel compelled to fill the void. They talk more than they should. They explain more than necessary. They expose their intentions, their fears, their weaknesses, all because you said nothing. In negotiations, silence is leverage. After you make an offer, say nothing. Let them sit with it. Let the pressure build. Most people will crack. They will either accept or they will reveal more information trying to justify their position. Either way, you win. In conflict, silence is dominance. When someone attacks you verbally, do not react immediately. Pause, let the silence hang. Let them wonder what you are thinking. This shifts the power dynamic. They expect a reaction. When you give none, they lose their footing. Your calm becomes threatening. In social settings, silence is mystique. The person who speaks less is often perceived as more intelligent, more thoughtful, more powerful. Let others perform. Let them seek validation. You observe, you listen, you learn. And when you do speak, your words carry weight because they are rare. Silence also protects you from saying too much. Every word you speak is a potential weapon against you. The more you talk, the more you reveal. The more you reveal, the more vulnerable you become. Speak only when your words add value. Speak only when silence would cost you more. Otherwise, hold your tongue. This discipline is difficult. It requires you to resist the urge to defend, to explain, to be understood. But that urge is ego, and ego is the enemy of strategy. Train yourself to become comfortable in silence. Practice it in conversations. Notice how others react. Notice how much they give away simply because you refuse to fill the space. Silence is not emptiness. It is presence. It is control. It is the pause before the strike. Master it, and you master the rhythm of every interaction. Comment this and make silence your ally. My silence speaks louder than their words. Number 7. Never outshine the master. This is one of Machiavelli's most essential teachings. If you are rising within a hierarchy, you must manage the ego of those above you. Insecure leaders feel threatened by competence. If you appear too talented, too ambitious, too capable, they will see you as a threat. And threats are eliminated. The key is to make them feel secure. Make them believe they are the source of your success. Give them credit. Highlight their wisdom. Let them shine while you work in the background. This does not mean you suppress your abilities. It means you display them strategically. You become invaluable but not threatening. You become essential but not competitive. You are the power behind the throne, and that is often safer and more effective than sitting on it. When your superior feels confident, when they believe you are loyal and non-threatening, they give you access. They trust you with information. They rely on you for execution, and in that reliance you gain real power. You become the one who knows how things work, the one who holds the keys, and when the time comes, when circumstances shift, you are positioned to rise naturally. But if you outshine them too soon, if you make them look foolish or weak, they will sabotage you. They will block your progress. They will turn others against you. Not because you did anything wrong, but because you triggered their insecurity. This rule requires patience and humility. It requires you to delay gratification, but it is worth it, because the leader who feels secure will elevate you. The leader who feels threatened will destroy you. Choose wisely. Let them have the spotlight. Let them take the applause. Meanwhile, you are building your foundation, your skills, your network. And when your time comes, you will not need to fight for the throne. It will be offered to you. Comment this and practice strategic humility. I let them shine. I build my power in the shadows. Number 8. Create dependence, not loyalty. Loyalty is fragile. It is based on emotion, on moral codes, on personal attachment. These things change. People fall out of love. Values shift. Relationships end. But dependence is structural. When someone depends on you, when they need you to function, to succeed, to survive, they cannot afford to betray you. This is the foundation of unshakable power. Make yourself indispensable. Become the person who solves problems no one else can solve. Become the one who holds critical knowledge, critical skills, critical relationships. When people need you more than you need them, you control the dynamic. This applies in every context. In your workplace, be the one who understands the systems, who has the relationships, who can navigate the complexity. In your social circles, be the connector, the one who brings value, who facilitates opportunities. In your personal life, be the one who provides stability, insight, solutions. But here is the key. Do not make it obvious. Do not hold your value over people's heads. Do not make them feel manipulated. Instead, make your value feel natural, inevitable, essential. They should feel grateful for your presence, not resentful of their dependence. And always maintain some level of scarcity. Do not be available all the time. Do not solve every problem immediately. Let them feel your absence occasionally so they remember your value. This is how you train people to prioritize you, to protect you, to keep you close. Creating dependence also means never teaching someone everything you know. Keep some knowledge to yourself. Keep some skills exclusive. Because the moment they can replace you, they will. As long as you are the only one who can do what you do, you are safe. This is not cruelty. This is survival. In a world where people are discarded the moment they are no longer useful, you must ensure you remain useful. Not through begging, not through loyalty, but through necessity. Comment this and secure your position. They need me more than I need them. Number 9, adapt or die. Rigidity is death. The world changes, circumstances shift. What worked yesterday may not work tomorrow. The man who clings to old strategies, old beliefs, old methods will be swept away by those who evolve. Machiavelli emphasized adaptability as a core trait of successful rulers. The prince must be like the fox and the lion. The lion cannot defend against traps. The fox cannot defend against wolves. Therefore, you must be both. You must know when to be aggressive and when to be clever, when to fight and when to maneuver, when to be visible and when to disappear. This requires flexibility of mind. You cannot afford to be ideological. You cannot afford to be attached to one way of doing things. You must read the environment and adjust. If the culture shifts, you shift with it. If the power structure changes, you reposition. If new information emerges, you update your strategy. This is not weakness. This is intelligence. Stubbornness is not strength. It is pride. And pride kills more men than any enemy ever could. The ability to adapt also means the ability to learn. Never stop studying. Never stop observing. Never assume you have it all figured out. The moment you believe you know everything is the moment you become vulnerable. Stay curious. Stay open. Stay flexible. But adaptation does not mean you abandon your core principles. It means you adjust your tactics while keeping your eyes on the ultimate goal. You are like water. You take the shape of the container, but you never stop flowing toward the sea. In relationships, in business, in conflict, the person who can adapt faster wins. Because while others are paralyzed by change, you are already moving. While they are clinging to what was, you are seizing what is. This is survival. This is mastery. Comment this and embrace the power of evolution. I adapt, I survive, I conquer. Number 10. Know when to break the rules. Every rule has a context. Every principle has a limit. The true master knows not only the rules, but when to break them. Machiavelli himself said that the prince must know how to do wrong when necessary, not because cruelty is good, but because sometimes survival demands it. Morality is a luxury of the safe. When your existence is threatened, when your goals are at stake, when the cost of playing fair is your destruction, you must be willing to do what others will not. This does not mean you become reckless. It means you become ruthless when the situation demands it. You must develop the judgment to know when the rules serve you and when they constrain you. Most people are trapped by social conditioning. They follow rules even when those rules lead to their downfall. They play fair even when their opponents cheat. They cling to honor even when honor gets them killed. You cannot afford this. You must be willing to lie when the truth would destroy you. You must be willing to betray when loyalty would enslave you. You must be willing to strike first when waiting would mean your end. But here is the critical part. You must do these things carefully, strategically, and rarely. If you break the rules constantly, you become predictable. You become the villain. And villains are hunted. But if you follow the rules most of the time, if you appear honorable and trustworthy, then the rare moments when you break them will be devastating. No one will see it coming. This is the essence of strategic amorality. You are not good or evil. You are effective. You do what the situation requires. You are guided not by what is right, but by what works. And you sleep well at night because you understand that survival is the highest morality. The dead have no virtue. Comment this and accept the full spectrum of power. I do what is necessary. I am bound by no rules but my own. Number 11. Master the art of strategic withdrawal. Knowing when to advance is important, but knowing when to retreat is what keeps you alive. Most men are destroyed not by their failures, but by their inability to let go. They cling to losing battles. They pour energy into dead ends. They refuse to admit when something is not working. This is ego, and ego is suicide. The wise strategist knows when to cut his losses. He knows when a situation is unwinnable. He knows when the cost of staying exceeds the benefit. And he withdraws not in shame but in intelligence. Strategic withdrawal is not defeat, it is repositioning. You step back to gain perspective. You retreat to conserve resources. You disengage to fight another day on better terms. This applies to relationships. If someone is toxic, if they drain you, if they betray you, do not waste time trying to fix it. Withdraw. Protect your energy. Redirect it toward those who deserve it. This applies to projects. If something is not working, if the market has shifted, if the opportunity has closed, do not stubbornly persist. Pivot, adapt, find a better path. This applies to conflicts. If you cannot win, if the enemy is too strong, if the timing is wrong, do not engage. Wait, withdraw, let them exhaust themselves. Then strike when they are weak. The ability to withdraw requires emotional discipline. It requires you to separate your identity from the outcome. It requires you to value long-term survival over short-term pride. Weak men cannot do this. They would rather die than admit they were wrong, but you are not weak. You understand that retreat is a tactic, not a failure. You understand that the war is more important than the battle. And sometimes, the best way to win the war is to lose a battle intentionally. This is high-level strategy. This is what separates amateurs from masters. Masters know that power is not about always advancing. It is about always surviving, and survival sometimes means stepping back. Comment this and give yourself permission. To be strategic, I retreat when I must. I return when I choose. Number 12, become the master of yourself. This is the final rule, and it is the foundation of all the others. You can learn every tactic. You can master every strategy. You can understand every principle of power. But if you do not master yourself, you will lose, because the greatest enemy you will ever face is not external. It is internal, your emotions, your impulses, your ego, your fear. These are the forces that will betray you faster than any opponent. The man who cannot control his anger will be manipulated by those who can provoke him. The man who cannot control his desires will be exploited by those who dangle temptation. The man who cannot control his fear will be paralyzed when action is required. Self-mastery is the ultimate power. It is the ability to remain calm when others panic. It is the ability to think clearly when emotions are high. It is the ability to act with precision when chaos surrounds you. This requires daily discipline. You must train your mind like you train your body. You must observe your thoughts without being controlled by them. You must feel your emotions without being ruled by them. Meditation, reflection, journaling, these are not luxuries. They are necessities for the strategist. You must know yourself completely, your triggers, your weaknesses, your patterns. Because if you do not know them, your enemies will, and they will use them against you. Self-mastery also means controlling your appetites. Do not become a slave to pleasure, to comfort, to validation. These things weaken you. They make you predictable. They make you controllable. The man who needs nothing is the man who cannot be bought. The man who fears nothing is the man who cannot be threatened. The man who controls himself is the man who controls his destiny. This is the highest form of power. Not power over others, but power over yourself. Because when you master yourself, everything else becomes easier. You make better decisions, you see more clearly, you act more effectively, you become untouchable, not because you are invincible, but because you are unshakable. Comment this final rule and claim your sovereignty. I am the master of myself. I am the architect of my fate. You have now heard the 12 rules. These are not theories. These are tools. Use them wisely. Use them carefully. Use them with precision, because power is not a game for the reckless. It is a game for the thoughtful, the patient, the strategic. You are not here to be liked. You are here to be effective. You are not here to be understood. You are here to win. And if you apply these rules, if you internalize them, if you live them, you will become a force that cannot be ignored, cannot be stopped, cannot be broken. The world will not hand you power. You must take it, not with violence, but with intelligence, not with noise, but with silence, not with force, but with strategy. This is the Machiavellian path. It is not for everyone. It requires you to see the world as it is, not as you wish it were. It requires you to accept that people are driven by self-interest, that loyalty is conditional, that fairness is an illusion. But it also gives you the tools to navigate that world with mastery, to protect yourself, to advance your goals, to build a life where you are never again at the mercy of others. So I ask you one final time, are you ready to see the game? Are you ready to play it with precision? If so, comment below, I see the game, I play to win. And subscribe to this channel because this is only the beginning. There is much more to learn, much more to master. Welcome to the path of power. Welcome to the Machiavellian mindset. Now go and become untouchable.